face first into the red corner, Bradley.
Bradley Owen, Russell Perks, Mixed Martial Arts Academy. We've seen Bradley before. Great striking, great movement. Really well-rounded striker. He's got a big pro career ahead of him. Russell Perks having a bit of a mixed bag this evening. But if they can go away with this European title,
they want to finish strong, that's for sure. Titles on the line and some real opportunities for some of their standout fighters to approach these challenges and take some big wins home with them.
I'm excited. This is one of the, when I was looking through this card, this is one of the fights I was like, that's going to be an absolute barnstorm. We got UK's best, Bradley Owen from Russell Perks, and then we have Norway's best, Fred Sjoli. Fred Sjoli, all the way from Norway. Who's going to take this European title back? Will it stay here in sunny England, Britain, or will it go all the way to Norway?
I think in light of Brexit, we're not giving Europe anything, are we? No way. Bradley Owen, come on, son. Come on, son. You can do it.
We've seen Bradley real regular here on Battle Arena. So we don't know much about Fred. It's a bit of an enigma, but the things we know is that he's damn good. This is front line have been 3-0 so far this evening.
I think they're coming for all the marbles tonight, Chris.
They were close in the last fight. They're big heavyweight. It was a little bit closer, but the first two fighters dominated. They're clearly a great gym. And you know that because they have UFC fighter Jack Hermanson training out of their gym.
They do damage. That's the thing. That's what's really different here. They come and they swing and they hurt and they hit and they move. It's like Norwegian it's the biathlon, isn't it? It's shoot and skate, or shoot and ski. That's what they do. They shoot and they move.
But will the crowd make a difference? There's a lot of Russell Perks support here. There's a lot of support here for Bradley Owen. Whereas Fred, apart from his corner man, no one's too keen on him.
Well, it's always nice to spoil somebody's party.
I've always liked being there. I like getting booed when I walk in. My last fight I was booed. Made me so happy.
Feels so good, doesn't it?
You people. That's supposed to be a swear word.
I'm going to disappoint you.
Yeah.
And they all come in shape, don't they? Well, Fred Sjoli looking excellent, looking ripped and cut. A band of great athletes and warriors. They're in here to fight. They're going to bang it out until the last bell or until the referee pulls them off.
This could be a frenetic pace, this fight.
Yeah, lightweight's coming at. Big jumping double leg, and he's able to pull his legs out of him as Fred Sjoli.
I think this is a wise choice from Fred. He knows that Bradley's from a school with that taekwondo, that points fighting background. To take it to the floor, and he's from a gym that's full of these dominant grapplers. Lots of the guys from his gym got silvers in the no-gi world, so he's surrounded by great grapplers all the time. But Bradley's done a really impressive job there of recovering guard.
He has. He's got a high heel there, possibly looking for either an armbar or a triangle setup. Is Bradley Owen. Even for a moment there, looked like he was triangling his legs for a body triangle. Fred Sjoli looking to rain down hammer fists.
Bradley's being very active off the bottom. He's clearly looking for submissions all the time, threatening. He's got that nice high guard. You can always tell when a guy knows how to grapple, when he works his guard up and gets that nice high guard position.
It's an excellent position. It brings the opponent's weight forward and prevents them from posturing. He's setting up the armbar.
Looking for that arm. He's going to get slammed.
Gets slammed. Oop, he slams him right out of that.
That's when you get the punch comes down. You've got to hook the leg, otherwise you're going to get lifted up.
Fred's a small error there on the part of Bradley Owen, but here he goes right back to having active hips. And this is deadly for he's using the cage, getting the arm over again.
Fred Sjoli
is having none of it, but he gets his arm caught again.
Oh, really nice. Oh, he didn't hook the leg again. He's got to adjust and learn to hook that leg.
Fred Sjoli is passing, maybe even to a split guard position here.
Oh,
Frontline MMA does not only boast great no-gi grapplers, but they have a Greco-Roman former national team member on it that we'll be seeing a little bit later in Martin Hamlet.
This is going to be really exciting. He's almost in like a 50-50 guard here, Bradley. He's got that leg trap. It's kind of a reverse half guard. It's an awkward position.
There's your split guard there from Fred Sjoli, who's now past the side control. He's going to be looking to maybe step into mount, but he keeps getting caught in this half guard.
I'm so impressed with Bradley. You know, if you look at the styles of the teams, you'd assume that Fred would be the better grappler, but Bradley's been so active off the bottom.
He has been. Just a few, just little variations, little adjustments in his technique might have had this fight going a little bit differently.
Yeah, if he hooked that leg, it would make all the difference. He's trying to wrap up that arm now. Maybe looking for a triangle. Oh, he's hooking up. He's getting slammed out of it.
Fred Sjoli's looking to slam everyone, but
he's now looking for that Kimura. Very sneaky reach over for that.
He's been successful slamming it out, but occasionally you can slam yourself even deeper into an armbar or even a triangle. Staying active with punches is Fred Sjoli on top.
I'm very impressed by Bradley's calmness. He's constantly looking to attack, set it up. He's not rushing. He's not panicking, even though he's having a few shots rain down on him. But this is awkward. When your head's up against the cage, it makes it very hard to throw up submissions because your posture is affected and you can't arch your back in the way you want to.
Big right hands coming through there from Fred Sjoli. Bradley still threatening with those hips oscillating, and the crowd chants of Bradley coming up, trying to urge their fighter who's on the bottom right now to pull something out. He's throwing some
nice little
from
strikes from the bottom.
Shows he's game.
Oh, he's got the arm again. Oh, no, he's lost it again.
He's getting hurt there.
He's looking for that triangle.
Never underestimate hammer fists. They're really being thrown with the complete leverage from the body, and then he slams himself down again. I feel like he's opening himself up for a triangle there on the left side.
I'm surprised that
there you go.
Fred isn't looking to pass more. He just seems to be content to sit in his guard and slam those fists in. Bradley's playing a lot of open guard. I think that maybe he'd be more effective if he postured up, threw the legs to the side, and looked for a pass.
There's our 10-second warning there. Bradley Owen's done very well.
Oh, nice shot from the bottom. It's amazing. Bradley's throwing some really nice shots from the bottom.
He's definitely caught Fred Sjoli coming in a handful of times. It's an excellent little bit of game here.
This is where, how do you score that, right? Because most judges will score it for the guy on top, but Bradley's on the bottom. He's thrown up numerous armbar attempts where he's trying to finish the fight. And he's throwing strikes from the bottom, which are actually quite heavy because Fred's kind of jumping into his guard.
I agree. It is difficult to score, Chris. It's just that, unfortunately, Fred Sjoli was doing damage on top. If Bradley Owen was able to reverse a position or even put an armbar in for more than a split second, I think he would have gotten the nod. But man, Fred Sjoli's really brought it in, and he's creating a feverish and tenacious pace right now against Bradley Owen. And with Russell Perks faithful over there, they've got a lot of fights on the card. It may be, Chris, that they have, watered down their focus this time around at Battle Arena 42. They've had a lot of fighters fighting, and maybe they need to focus a bit more on these title fights. But let's see if Bradley Owen can turn the tables. It isn't the first time tonight that someone's lost a first round and had to come back in the second.
Well, it was a pretty close first round as well. Fred
Good sprawl from Bradley Owen.
On the floor all the time. Bradley might do better to try and separate and throw some strikes.
Fred Sjoli is hooking that outside leg with his left, so he's got the right leg of Bradley Owen right now. He's picking it up in a single. He's going to look to lift it high. Chest presses it down.
Great sweep by Bradley. Really well timed. He's got to keep him down, though. He's got to keep him down. We need some wrestling. Oh, good job by Fred getting back into the top position and dragging Bradley down.
Opportunity for a ninja choker, high elbow guillotine here, but with the gloves on, it's so difficult to get right now.
People don't appreciate it. Having the gloves on makes it so much harder to get your hand under the neck. It's just a slightly thicker, hand that you're trying to squeeze through. Well, Fred has passed into mount now. This is a terrible position for Bradley. He needs to work quick. Maybe get his feet to the cage and wall walk a little bit.
We see Fred Sjoli happy to tie in a grapevine there for a moment. Now he's high in the mount.
Oh, he's giving up his back, just trying to escape. This might not be the worst idea in the world because Fred doesn't. Oh, he only had one hook. Now he's got two hooks.
Is he going to look to stretch Bradley out, which is the prudent idea?
Bradley needs to clear those hooks and then start trying to work to get back out of that position.
And all the while defend the neck.
Yeah, this is the problem. It's hard to clear those hooks and defend your neck at the same time. And clearly, Fred's got some powerful arms. Good, he needs to do something about those hooks. We always teach it head, shoulders, hooks, and hips. So he needs to get his head to the mat, then his shoulders to the mat, then clear the hooks, and then hips. It's not easy to do from here, though. But you see how Fred's head is between Bradley's head and the mat. Bradley needs to kind of pull his head forward and then back and then underneath Fred's head so his head is on the mat first. Just like that.
Well done, Bradley. Gets his shoulders to the mat and is able to snake out, but now he's eating a world of pain.
Yes, get up, Bradley. Oh, excellent work. Good work by Fred as well. Straight back in with the control.
Bradley maybe with a guillotine. Oh, he gives it up to strike. He might be just getting pulled into a little bit of an emotional battle here as Bradley Owen. Or it seems Fred Sjoli is sticking to his game plan of smothering Bradley against the cage from top position.
Sometimes the crowd can make a difference because every time Bradley gets to his feet, the crowd goes wild and it seems to make him maybe overreach for things.
There is a lot of pressure on the Russell Perks fighters right now.
I'm very impressed with Fred's pressure. He's a very athletic guy. So physically strong.
And there you go. Once bitten, twice shy. He's getting out of that armbar well early. Now Fred Sjoli maybe looking to pass, which would definitely be the better option for him if he could pass and just clear those legs of Bradley Owen and avoid all the danger. Ooh. Good attempt for a scissor sweep there from Bradley Owen. Now he's working again for the high.
Bradley's been so close to getting to his feet a couple of times, but Fred is straight back in with huge pressure.
Just strong, imposing forces, Fred Sjoli. Almost doing a Pilata attempt there.
There's short time left in this round. There's another round in the bag for Fred. There's constant top pressure, but he almost seems nervous on top, that he's aware of Bradley's slick ground game, and he just wants to sit there and land strikes, make sure he wins the round.
Yeah, they're more pitter-patter strikes. They're not the big overreaching strikes that he had in the first round.
I almost think Fred comes across that he's scared to strike with Bradley. He's so quick to take
for those doubles every time.
Yeah, he's so keen. We haven't seen enough of the striking to know that Bradley comes off much better, but it definitely appears that, or maybe in the gym he's a super dominant grappler, so that's what he's focusing on. He's definitely got powerful top game, really slick takedowns. But Bradley's looked really good off his back. Those armbar attempts were close. To just hook the leg, it would have made all the difference. But I think Bradley's got to come out. He knows he's 2 rounds down. He's got to throw caution to the wind and throw some power shots and do everything he can to stay on his feet. At the moment, he keeps dropping down, trying to get guillotines, and he's just not in the position to do it.
Yeah, he needs to focus. You got to choose. And striking from a defensive position is not a great idea. You need to be working more towards those submissions because they can really end the fight in a moment. And I think he had a few options there for guillotines. So we'll see if he can actually approach that in the future.
That's the problem. If you're pulling guard for submissions, if you don't get it, you end up in a bad spot. And Bradley knows he can't get up. We've seen this from 2 rounds. He's not good enough to get up from that position, so he needs to avoid dropping down for it. It's not worth the risk.
Not at all. He needs to keep it standing and try to do some damage, hoping that maybe...
Oh, that's more like it. See, don't clinch up. He needs to separate now. He needs to separate. Just like that. Separate. That's it. And the throws and strikes. Nice head kick. This is what we want to see from Bradley.
Exactly.
Mixing up this fight.
Fred Sjoli's looking to stalk him down, though. Throwing head kicks. Mixing up his hands.
Bradley needs to get off the cage, circle, control the middle of the octagon. Fred's doing a really good job of pressuring and not moving.
Sweeping elbow. Or sweeping punch to the body there. Let's see if he's got a kick. Nice chopping kick there.
Oh.
Can he focus? No, he's good. Gets pulled down again in the double.
Oh, I think there's a damage to Bradley's arm. He winced a little bit and held his shoulder. Seems to be fighting on, though. Oh, he's looking for that butterfly sweep. He set that up really nicely. All his hands are in the correct position. It's just hard because Fred's pressure is really good.
He's hipping back as well, which is preventing him from getting the full leverage in the sweep.
This is my favorite sweep, that one.
I love butterfly position. It's great. Hard to do correctly, but
you don't have the levers for it, do you?
No, that's probably why. It's ridiculously hard. Stu Healy's smaller than me, and he can sweep everybody with it.
This is true.
Stu is the man. Big shout out to Stu Healy at RGAMK. The only RGAMK, really.
Is that RGA-MK or just MK?
Whichever one doesn't cost £100 a month.
Really good. Bradley's going for that arm again. Oh.
Big dropping down with the right hand there is...
Fred's pressure is super impressive. I'm still shocked that he's not trying to pass this guard.
All the danger is coming from the guard. It'd be prudent to pass the guard. It'd be more intelligent, but maybe he's just...
I think he wants to keep this fight on the floor. He didn't want to strike. He's been shooting straight away.
Even here, a foot moving him forward into the cage is going to establish him a little bit more into the striking game that he wants.
I don't think he wants to try and pass because then there's a risk that Bradley gets up. And
keep the head on the chest and try to bang it out from full guard there.
This is why the UFC doesn't sign fighters like Ben Askren that will just hold someone down, not look to really finish the fight. Well, I think Fred is looking to finish the fight, but he's not looking as aggressively as he could.
He just seems to be slipping out of all those submission attempts from Bradley Owen.
It's hard in the third round. They're both sweaty.
Bradley Owen's been working so hard in this fight to establish a submission game, and he's done very well a few times. Just a few little positional adjustments, and we could have seen a much different outcome earlier on. But now he's getting hammer-fisted in half guard. And it's just not good. He's taken a fair amount of damage tonight over these 3 rounds. Fred Sjoli is really making a statement for this European title to go back with him to Norway. Big glancing left hand.
Very left hand. He's got to be careful with this ground and pound. It means he's overcommitting to his strikes, and he might leave him a little bit more vulnerable for submission. I don't know if Fred really passed or Bradley just tried to throw something up, lost position. Fred has got to work on his guard passing. Referee Paul Nichols taking a very close look. Bradley's taking some damage. Oh, excellent work by Bradley just to get out of that dangerous position. Oh, he's still in turtle, which is not great, but it's better than he was. Now he's trying to get back to his feet, but Fred just used the opportunity to put those hooks in.
And now Fred happier to stay on top maybe and strike this time around.
Not really, even in the second round when he had his back, or the first round, he wasn't really looking for that choke. He's just quite happy to dominate the position.
Now he's got the arm
Now he's trying to get it, but he's not. He's kind of cranking the face of Bradley, and Bradley's kind of doing a good job of turning towards him. So Fred's slightly off at an angle. We might see Bradley slip out, maybe. Oh no, Fred does a good job of adjusting. It's a smart thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if Bradley's got some kind of shoulder injury. He winced when he got taken down, held his shoulder briefly, but he's been able to fight on.
Has he ever? He's fought till the very bell. A little bit of disappointment there on the look of Bradley Owen, but Fred Sjoli is elated at his performance. Just a phenomenal performance from Fred Sjoli, really bringing the fight to the Brit in Bradley Owen.
So after 3 great rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. And we have your winner. And now, European lightweight champion from the blue corner, Fredrik Sjoli. And please make some noise for your winner, Bradley Owen. Fredrik, how you doing, buddy? How does it feel to be the European battery champion?
It feels good.
Very talented, grinding fight. Obviously, we've seen you before. We know that's your style. But it was a clinic on the ground. Really, really good. Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. My plan was to try to fire him out on the ground, and obviously it's a good cardio, very rich, so it's grinding that's what the game had to do.
Yeah, well, the game plan was executed excellently. So, really good finish. Congratulations, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your winner. And now, European lightweight champion here at the arena, Fredrik Sjoli.
Well, Fred Sjoli taking the European title back home to Norway.